Well, good evening, everyone. My name's Beck, and I'd like to welcome you to our Create Your Own Freedom Western Australia event. And today's date is the 11th of July, 2017. This month is flying. If you're here for the first time, someone that you know may have invited you to have a look at this link, and they may think it may be something that would resonate with you or someone that you know. You may even know the beautiful Michaela who's launching tonight. She may have invited you to take a look at what she's doing. So whoever you are and whoever has passed this link on to you, I'd like to thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoy listening into our stories. As I said, my name's Beck, and my husband and I have been involved in the Juice Plus business for over a year now. We were travelling around Australia actually in our caravan with our two kids when I found out about this opportunity. And so I found out about it through a Facebook friend, Belinda. And I really love the idea of getting healthier and making some money as I travelled around Australia. So we all know that the workplace is really changing. What used to take decades is now taking just years and even months. And the workplace is not what it used to be. People are realising that it's not as secure, and all over the place we're seeing machines replacing people's jobs at Kmart, Coles, in all sorts of industry. There's been cutbacks and people are feeling quite nervous about that. We all know the cost of living certainly has not gone down, and most people are feeling stressed about money, and they're finding they have less time and less freedom. So about a year ago when I heard about this business, it just made sense to me. Physically, I was feeling really, really unhealthy. We were travelling in a caravan with two little kids that were waking me up all through the night, and I just felt like a real zombie mum. I felt like I was barely functioning. I was grabbing for the chocolate and the coffee just to keep going. I was also looking for a way to make money as we travelled, and that's quite hard, getting jobs in all different locations. And I am a high school teacher, but I really didn't like the idea of relief teaching around Australia in a new school every week. So when I heard about this business, I was so excited about it because my story is it's taken 7 years for Matt and I to have our first child. And we had two kids in quick succession. And on that journey, we lost a few children as well. So it's really important to me to be around for my kids. So I feel really blessed that I've come across this business, and it's really ticked all of those boxes for me. Now we've decided to stop travelling. We've settled in the beautiful Dunsborough, just south of Perth. And so this business has allowed me to create income even in that situation where we're moving interstate and settling down with having to find money for bond and furniture and all that stuff. So I'm really excited now that our financial future is looking different, and I just love helping other people get more of what they want in life through this business. So we're able to plan family holidays as well, which we haven't been able to do. And my husband's a builder, and he really would like to have a career change. But as you know, when you've got bills to pay, you often just fall back on what you know. So as I build my business, he's going to have the opportunity to look for a different way of making money that he would enjoy more. So that's really exciting. So tonight we're going to share some of our stories with you, how this product has transformed people's health, but also how the business opportunity is transforming people's finances. So please stick around and have a listen to those stories. So I'm just so grateful that I can spend more time with my kids and contribute to the house in that way. So I'd like to introduce Rach now. She is a beautiful mum who's joined our business, and she's going to talk to us about our amazing products and program. Thanks, Rach.
Thanks, Beck. I'm so excited tonight to be able to share with you about the products that are part of this business. My story is that I'm a nurse. I work as a nurse educator at the moment, full-time. I'm a single mum with an 11-year-old boy. And before I was introduced to the products, I knew the importance of fruit and veg. I had that drummed into me through my training and upbringing. And so I already knew that that would be a healthy thing to do, but I wasn't able to really do that consistently with the pressures of work and life. I wasn't doing it every day on every meal, and I definitely wasn't able to get in the recommended daily serves, which is around 7 to 10 serves a day that they're recommending. So that was a real challenge every day for me and my son. And I was pretty much exhausted most of the time, trying to survive with coffee and very little sleep, making poor food choices as I ran out the door. And so when I was told about these products, I was super keen to give them a go. I had a young son who was struggling with anxiety, and he was also not a great vegetable eater, so I was keen for him as well. Within 3 days of taking the products, I noticed a massive increase in my energy. And Caleb, he also said to me, "Mum, I actually feel like I'm awake." He struggles with clinical anxiety, and mornings for him were just torture, and he would just slide out of bed and I'd have to slide him into his clothes and we'd slide out the door. And we pretty much did that day in, day out. So I guess for us, now we both crave eating fruits and veggies. We have a lot more energy. We cope better with stress. And for us, it just is something we will never stop taking. These are the products, fruits, veggies, and berries. And what they're made up of is over 26 different fruits, veggies, and berries. And when you look at the bottles at the back, you actually see an ingredients list. So you actually see whole foods in the ingredients. This one's the berry one. You can see there the fruits and the berries that are included. So that was just impressive to me as a nurse, to be able to actually see food on the label rather than chemicals or broken down elements. So the other thing that impressed me about the products was, when I did a bit of research into them, is that they are heavily researched. So there are over nearly 30 peer-reviewed articles now on the benefits of these products. And if you want to look closer at that, just speak to the person that sent you this link, or invited you on tonight. There's just so much amazing research behind these products. The two things that stood out for me in that research, one was the increase in immunity and the decrease in systemic inflammation. We know that systemic inflammation is responsible for many chronic illnesses, and I personally suffer from endometriosis. And so for me to be able to reduce the inflammation in my body was a huge benefit to taking these products. And what I noticed over months of taking them, when I look back, I can see a significant change in for starters, not having to take pain relief every day. The inflammation in my body's decreased, and I'm really have much better quality of life than I had before. So it makes sense to me that increasing fruits and veggies will have a positive impact on my health. The other thing that I found in the research that just blew my mind was the safety of the products. So on the product bottles, there's no safety warnings, there's no age limits, so you can take these products from birth to elderly. There's nothing in them that requires like an age range or any sort of medical condition. So for me, that was awesome as well. My son can take them, I can take them, my mum can take them, pregnant and breastfeeding women can take them, safe for the whole family. I guess what is impressive to me is that they're not an insurance policy against illness, but they are definitely a way to bridge the gap between what you can eat every day and what your body needs you to eat every day. So for me, that was a win-win for my family. A lot of people have asked me since I've been on the products what the difference is between Juice Plus and regular vitamins. And the main difference is that Juice Plus is made up of full whole foods. And vitamins are made up synthetically, usually of fractured nutrients, so components of a nutrient. So what that means to our body is that it's harder for our body to absorb fractured nutrients. It's much easier for our body to recognize whole foods. So you might have taken, like I used to take a multivitamin, and within an hour or so my wee would be fluoro yellow. And that's just a result of my body not being able to absorb the nutrients in those vitamins. Whereas with Juice Plus, because they're whole foods, they're absorbed into the bloodstream within 20 minutes of taking them, and I don't get fluoro wee, and my body uses what it needs, and nothing comes out in that way. So that's awesome. The fruits, veggies and berries that are used to make the product are organically grown. They're genetically modified free, so they're GMO free, and they're free of pesticides. So that was amazing. I mean, I find it hard to afford to buy organic food, and so to be able to put this sort of level of nutrient into my body is really exciting. They're picked at prime ripeness, so they're on the vine until they're fully ripe, which means that they're nutrient dense. And what they do in the manufacturing is they pulp the whole fruit and veggie and use all of it. So they don't just use the juice, they use the skin, the pulp, everything. And they take out the water and the sugar content, and then they are dehydrated at a low temperature so that all of the nutrients are preserved, and they end up putting them, then the powder, into a capsule. I'll just show you the capsules so I can hold them. Here are the 3 capsules. They put them in a capsule to protect them from oxygen. I don't know whether you've ever taken a powder like spirulina, but when you take powder that's live and has real food in it, it denatures over time. I guess a good example of that is if you cut an apple and you leave it on the bench, it'll go brown. And that's just because of the oxygen denaturing the actual material in it. So that's why they're put in these little vegan capsules. What I love about this company is that it is family friendly, and so they have an amazing health study for children. That study is just incredible. The outcomes in that study, if you get a chance to read up on it, it's incredible. But they've actually made children's products. This is what they look like. They're little gummies, fruits and veggies, and they're just like a chewable form of the capsules. They're good for adults who don't like taking capsules, and I love eating them. Just, when you feel like a sweet treat, they're yummy. So for me, that's an amazing add to the product, is that if I'm on the product, my child can have the product for free, which is just incredible gift from the company. The other amazing product that the company has is the complete powders. Now these come in vanilla and Dutch chocolate, and they're a superfood, really. They're a protein powder that's vegan, so it's a plant-based protein, which means it's easy to absorb. It's also easy on the gut, and this powder is full of superfoods. So when I give this to my son in the morning for breakfast, little does he know he's getting things like mushroom powder, alfalfa sprouts, ancient grain blends. There's all sorts of things in there, broccoli, radish, things that I would never be able to put on his plate. These are awesome. We use them for breakfast because that was our really tricky time of day for food. I know people use them for lunch if they're often skipping meals, or in the afternoon they're great post-workout, or if you want a sweet treat at night and you're reaching for something a bit naughty, then these are a good option to use instead. All of the products are TGA approved in Australia. TGA is the Therapeutic Goods Association, and another benefit of the product is that we get access to the Juicy Body Transformation Program. This is a lifetime membership once you get access, and it's an online program that helps to helps you to make lifestyle changes that are sustainable. This is an example of one of the resources, just hundreds of recipes. It's a deprivation-free program, so there are treats in there, but they're whole food treats, so they're made out of real food. There's no added, preservatives, artificial things in there. So it gives you a great basis on family-friendly recipes that the kids love. My son absolutely loves the recipes in here, and we eat them all the time. There's also exercise plans, shred programs that you can access if you want. A lot of times people ask me, is it a weight loss program? And we generally say no, but weight loss is a side effect of making these changes, which is just an added bonus for most of us, I guess. So that's pretty much the products and the program in a nutshell. I'm just going to hand over now to Beck.
Thanks so much, Rach. There's a lot of good information there. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to ask Roy now to speak and just share about how these products have impacted her health. Thanks, Roy.
Thanks, Beck. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Awesome. Sorry, I've got my baby as well. She's a little bit sick, so she's up with me. I'm a mummy, obviously, to a 6-month-old baby, Regan. Juice Plus came into my life about 2 months ago now. Before Juice Plus, I was suffering from postnatal depression, and the medication I was taking had side effects, as in like I was losing my appetite, etc. A lot of things actually, but the main thing was that I lost my appetite, and consequently that affected my breastfeeding. So I was struggling to express milk. I was pumping about 15 mils every day for my poor little baby. And I'd pump for about an hour. So that was really, really like tragic for me, obviously, first time mama. I'd been looking for something to give me a bit of an energy boost because I was tired, run down. I didn't have the energy to go exercise, etc. I come across an ad on Instagram actually, and I thought it was a little bit too good to be true, but I found out it was Juice Plus. So I've been taking the proteins and the capsules now for the last 2 months, and within the first 3 days I noticed a huge energy boost. My skin started to clear up. I was eating properly, but the huge, what am I trying to say? Like the biggest change for me I saw was that my breast milk was just out of control, and to the point where I was waking up with a wet t-shirt at night, and yeah, it was just overflowing with goodness. So whatever's in it was really good for my nutrition at the time. So I just can't wait to share this with my friends and family. I know it's a good wholesome product to take, and yeah, that's my story. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Roy. It's so good. We've all got different stories, but these products are just doing amazing things for all of us. So I'd like to introduce Michaela now. She's going to share, she's launching her business tonight, and she's really excited, maybe a little bit nervous. So we'll pass over to you, Michaela, just to share what you'd like to tell us about your journey. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. So I've been on the products now for about 8 months, and so I was 6 months pregnant at the time when I went looking for something to help me with my nutrition. At that point I'd been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, and there was just so much overwhelm of information that was coming at me as to what I needed as far as nutrition while I was pregnant and stuff like that. So I went looking for something, and my problem was that I really struggled to find things that were safe for pregnant women. And then I came across Juice Plus, and it seemed not only perfect for me at the time, but also perfect for my partner. He's been on really high dosage painkillers for a really long time now, and we've been looking for a way to get him off those. And for a lot of the testimonials and stories that I've heard, I just thought that this was going to be the way for us to do that. And it was. Within 2 weeks of us being on the products, he'd halved his medication that he'd been on for almost 5 years, with a bad back. So it was, and my energy was high, and I finished my pregnancy out, glowing and in really good condition, which was really, really good for me. So I've loved the products. I've been on them, for 8 months now. And even that when my son got sick, he's 5 months old now, but when he got sick, he, I opened the capsules and I put it in his bottle, and a couple of days and he was good to go again. So it really is a testament to how good these products really are. So yeah, that's my story.
That's great. Thank you, Michaela, for being brave enough to share with us tonight. And we just love that you love it enough that you want to share this with others now. So good luck on your journey of sharing it with others and helping others.
Absolutely. Thank you.
No worries. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some questions that people have around doing a business such as this. I know I had some questions, so I'm just going to hand over to Yvette. She's just going to talk briefly about a couple of questions that can come up around a business like Juice Plus. Thanks, Yvette.
Thanks, Beck. So I had lots of questions when I started in this business. I discovered Juice Plus about 7 months ago now, and I came across it on a Facebook post called Mummies on a Mission. And usually I would normally just scroll past these things, but something really sort of gravitated to me, and I clicked on the link and put in my details, and I was contacted by the beautiful Belinda, and my story went from there. So I know that when I looked at this kind of business, I'd always had a pre-existing kind of idea of what network marketing or what this kind of business was. And I was really pleased to find that after I had all my questions that I had and I was really skeptical and I got those answered, it was nothing like my perceived perception at all. So my first big question that I asked was, is this a pyramid scheme? Because obviously, as we know, so many of us have heard of these before. The thing is, though, pyramid schemes were made illegal in the 70s. So if this was a pyramid scheme, I can pretty much guarantee you that we would have been found out by now. So Juice Plus has been around for about 25 years, and the company itself has been around for 45. So that, for me, ticked a great big box because it showed that it was a long-standing product and it could definitely survive the test of time. But if you have a look at different businesses, and I know coming from a traditional business background myself, it's amazing how much that pyramid model is used in our everyday life, and we probably just don't think about it really. So whether it's a government department, whether it's a childcare centre, our hospitals, or even like myself working in the retail industry, those pyramids exist everywhere. So I owned a Continental Deli. I had 3 of them, and I then sold my business to a independent supermarket. And when I sold my business to the independent supermarket, I chose to stay and work for them. So when I chose to stay and work for them, I became one of their department managers. But even that business there had the pyramid structure. So I'm just going to draw for you. I hope everyone can see that. So at the top here, being independent, we have the owner. of the supermarket. Sorry, I've got a little helper tonight. It's going to hold that for me, or the CEO. Under the owner, we had the general manager. And the general manager had been with this owner in other businesses for 30 years. So they had a 30-year relationship. So that position was, unless, you know, he was injured or sick or whatever, that position was never going to be let go. After general manager, we had operations managers. And the operations managers, the owner had 10 stores in total, and it was their job to basically manage certain territory. And a lot of these operations managers had either been in that role for over 10 years or had been with other larger companies like Coles or Woolworths. Under the operations managers, we had store managers. They were in charge of the whole store, and again, a lot of them had been with this owner for 10 plus years. So again, it was going to take a really long time. Under the store manager, we had the department manager, and that was me. I was down here. So even though I'd owned my own business before, I had to be in charge of the department. Under those, we had a 2IC, and then we had all the workers down here as well. So as you can see, it was going to take a long time to climb up. Now, I worked for this particular business for a period of 6 years after I had my own businesses. And in that whole entire time, I came out with one promotion. I never ever had a position promotion, so I never got to train as a store manager. And I poured my heart and soul into that job. So I tried to learn as much as I could in other departments. So I learned every department within that supermarket. I learned how to run reports. I learned how to do all the management systems that a store manager. I was even left with a large supermarket, which would turn over sort of $200,000 to $300,000 in one day. Some days I was left in charge of that on a Sunday, and still no promotion. The other thing that happened to me as well with learning and putting myself out there is a lot of my colleagues actually got their nose out of joint, and it created a lot of friction. And to me, that just doesn't make any sense, because why would you not support somebody who is trying to get ahead? Me trying to get ahead, all I got was a lot of backlash, a lot of bitching, and a lot of backstabbing. So I left that company, and I worked for another company briefly. And it was the same kind of thing. The thing that I love about this business, and why I decided that I wanted to go into this business and why it resonated with me so much, is because the actual the way that our business looks and the structure of the business is very different. So our model looks more like a rectangle. So I don't know if you can all see that. So down here we all start as a virtual franchisee. So it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter if you've been a bank manager, a CEO of a large corporation, or you've been a retail worker or a trolley boy. You're all going to start at the same level. And you can't get to our pinnacle position of NMD without helping somebody. Okay, so you can't step over the top of someone and leave them down there. The only way you can get to NMD is by helping other people grow. So as soon as I came into this business and felt the sense of community within this business, that was a really big plus for me. Obviously, getting into the business, another question that I had was, am I going to have to just go and start selling to my family and friends? Am I going to have to start hunting my family and friends down, or, you know, pulling out my lovely bright pink whiteboard here for, you know, at a dinner party? And again, I was really pleased to find out that the answer to that was no, I don't have to do that. This business, surprisingly enough, grows organically. And what we do is we share our story. So as you've heard tonight from Roy and from Kayla, some great stories of why they love the product so much. That's what we do, we share. Beck also commented tonight and told us that she found this business when she was traveling around Australia. And when she found this business, she was introduced to the business by Belinda. And then Belinda introduced the business to Beck. And Beck introduced the business, I hope everyone can see that, to Gabby. And Gabby introduced the business to Leah. And over here, Belinda also introduced the business to Rhiannon and to Renelle. I'm going to write after Renelle there. And then Rhiannon introduced the business to myself. Beth, I believe, introduced the business to Rachel. all the while, Renelle over here is getting customers, Rhiannon's getting customers, I'm getting customers. I also introduced the business to Casey. So what you can see happens there is the business starts to organically grow. And this is what we call the popcorn effect. So if you imagine that you had a popcorn on the stove, we all know that as popcorn heats up, those popping corns begin to burst. And then once you take that off the stove, that continues to happen. And that's exactly what happens with our business here as well. It continues to grow. So again, I found that this was a really great example of why I love this business so much. And as times are changing, it's definitely something that I can see myself doing for many years. So I hope that helps everyone. And that's my share there for you. Thanks, Beth. I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks, Yvette. I love that you don't have to hunt down your family and friends, because I would not be signing up for that. And I love that you get to meet so many cool people and have lots of fun, because having fun is where it's at as well. The way we get paid is a little bit different as well. So we just wanted to touch on that briefly tonight, and I'll just introduce Carlina to just share with us a little bit about how we get paid. Thanks, Carlina.
Thanks, Beck. Hi, everybody. So I talk to you about the fun stuff now, how we get paid. And this is something that I love to talk about, because it's a direct reflection on just how many people we've been able to help. And I also believe that it's truly hard to be truly healthy if you have financial stress in your life. So there are 3 ways that we get paid. The first way that we get paid, if you say this, is retail. Okay, this is the money that you make on your customers' sales and your team's customer sales. And the best thing about this business is we just need to connect our customers with Juice Plus, and they do the rest. They handle the payment and ship the stock. And unlike other businesses, we don't need to hold stock, run parties, purchase stock, or anything like that. And another really cool thing is there's no large startup fee and there's no minimum monthly spends, which I think is fantastic. So we're in the business of recommending, and just like if you go see a great movie or you go to a nice restaurant, you tell your friends about it. And that's what we do with Juice Plus, is we recommend a great product with our friends. Another cool thing is, I found out when I started, we can actually grow this business in 27 countries around the world, unlike our traditional business, which we can only grow here in Australia. So that was another really cool thing. The second way we get paid is in commission. And this is the residual income, or the passive income in the business. And we call this the beach money, because you can literally be sitting on a beach somewhere sipping cocktails and there's money landing in your bank account. How awesome is that? So I absolutely love that. The last way we get paid is bonuses. Who loves a bonus? I know I do. So bonuses are the money that you get paid in the beginning to encourage you on your journey. They're there to support us, and as we reach certain levels in our business and as our team reach certain levels, we get paid bonuses to encourage us along the way. So that's how we get paid. I'm going to pass it back to you now, Beck.
Thanks so much, Carlina. Yeah, I love that we have 3 different ways we get paid. I remember I was up in the Gibb River Road and I had no phone service for a whole month. I didn't have a customer, and yet I still got paid based on what my team were doing and the existing customers I already had. So it doesn't get much better than that. I'd like to ask Yvette to come back on and just share a little bit about her business story. Thanks, Yvette.
Cool, thanks, Beck. Yeah, so as I was saying before, I really love this business. I was introduced to it 7 months ago now, the same time I was introduced to the product. And the reason that I decided that this was a business that was going to suit me was because I was definitely feeling a little bit lost with myself, and I was also suffering from postnatal depression as well, which I didn't sort of pick up or realise at the time. We were also financially finding that we were falling further and further into debt with our bills, and we needed to find a way, or I felt that as a family, if we kept going the way we were going, nothing was ever going to change. So I thought something's got to change here, and I came across this business. Being in traditional business myself, I knew that if I was ever going to start a business again, like a traditional business, I was going to need a lot of capital, and we're talking, $100,000 to $200,000 to set up something that I would really want to do. When I came across this business and found out that I didn't have to do that, that really resonated with me. And I loved the fact that I was going to be able to take this business anywhere that I went with me around the country as well. I think my nutrition at the time was quite poor, as my postnatal depression was affecting me. I found that I wanted to exercise less. I was eating lots of crappy food, and it's like this horrible cycle that just keeps going and going. So when I found the product as well, and I found it was something that I could take, within 2 weeks, I started feeling so much better within myself. That brain fog had gone, and I started to really have that zest for life come back. After about 2 months on the product, I no longer took my medication for my depression anymore, and for me, that was a huge part as well. The other thing that I really loved about this business, or why I decided this was the business that I wanted to go for, was I had literally been working the whole time that my son's life. So this guy here was in daycare his whole entire life, before school care, after school care. He was always looked after by someone else other than me, and as a mum, that broke my heart. I wanted to be the one that was looking after my son. I wanted to be the one that was there for my family. And this really looked like a vehicle that was going to be able to get me there. And I can say that in 7 months, it's been something. I've met some amazing people, and it's just been phenomenal so far, and I can't wait for the journey to continue. So yeah, thanks, Beck.
Thanks so much, Yvette. Well, I'd like to thank everyone that shared tonight. It's been an amazing night with some terrific stories. And if you're watching this and you have some questions, I urge you to get those questions answered. Don't let this opportunity slip by. If something that you heard tonight really resonated with you, I'd encourage you to get your questions answered, because this could be exactly what you've been looking for. And I know for a lot of us, it is exactly what we've been looking for. I'm so excited that I can spend time working around my kids and their needs, and be a stay-at-home mum while still earning money. So I'm pretty passionate about helping others do that, and just helping others financially, because financial stress is one of the biggest killers in families and marriages in our this beautiful country. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and just get your questions answered. So thank you everyone who shared, and have a great night, whatever you're doing now, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.